What's up guys, CrossFlux here with another Owlboy Theory video. It's taken me a bit longer to come out with this video than I would have liked, but I'm still glad how it turned out. But anyways, let's get down to business. First of all, this video will have spoilers in it. Consider this your only warning. Next up, this is a theory video, so the ideas that I present aren't necessarily correct. I will try my best to prove my theory, but ultimately, until D-Pad comes out and directly answers some of the questions concerning the game, we'll never truly know. Alright, so what's the topic for discussion today? Well, you've all seen the title of this video. Today we will be deciphering the message in Vellie Cave. As many of you are aware, one of the first and biggest mysteries of Owlboy can be discovered within minutes of booting it up. Otis discovers this location as he searches for a way to not only meet back up with Getty, but to also put a stop to the troublemaker's antics. About halfway through the dungeon, there's a wall, with both mysterious pictures and writing on it. Let's tackle the writing first. Honestly, it's not that difficult to figure out if you've even heard mention of Roman numerals. Quick briefing, Roman numerals was the numeric system created by the Romans and used throughout Europe until the late Middle Ages. Instead of the symbols 0 through 9 like we use today, the Romans used a combination of letters to represent the idea of a number. The important ones that we'll be using are I is 1, V is 5, and X is 10. To create numbers other than 1, 5, and 10, they would combine multiple letters together, not unlike how we do with 2-digit or 3-digit numbers. You can definitely learn more about Roman numerals with a quick Google search, but suffice to say that the writing on the Vellie Cave mural appears to be written in Roman numerals, since it consists of only I's, V's, and X's. If one were to translate these symbols to the common number system used today, it would read 4, 8, 15, 16, 23, 42... Sorry, I got a little lost there. Wrong numbers.
Don't ever tell me what I can't do, ever!
Anyways, they read 15, 14, 5, 15, 6, 20, 8, 5, 7, 15, 21, 18, 1, 9, 20, and 19. Now, what would a random string of numbers possibly mean? What if I told you that it's actually another code? If one were to list out our alphabet and assign them a number as follows, A is 1, B is 2, and so on, all the way down to Z is 26, suddenly we can turn this string of numbers into a string of letters. And what do strings of letters form? Words. So the numbers of the Vellie Cave mural translate to the following letters. Throw a few spaces in the correct places, wham bam, it's a dino jam, and we get the phrase, one of the 4 waits. Well, we certainly succeeded at obtaining a message, but it's still pretty vague. What could this mean? Well, let's take a look at all the groups of 4 that the game provides to us. There's like a million, but I'm going to only focus on a few for the sake of video length. In the floating tower, there are 4 statues of ancient owls, one of which is broken. And there are 4 owl students in the game, Otis, Solus, Fib, and Bonacci. But the last and most obvious group of 4 is the 4 playable characters, Otis, Getty, Alphonse, and Twig. Could this message refer to one of these 4 characters waiting? If so, then where do they wait? For how long do they wait? Do they wait by themselves? What are they waiting for? There's way more questions. But could the pictures on the mural give us some more answers? Well, let's take a look. The first picture definitely appears to be of an owl. Our first instinct is to assume that it's Otis, but other owls do exist in this game. But could this refer to Otis being the one of the 4 that waits? I could see that being the case. But what about the next picture? It appears to be 4 circles, one of which is larger than the others. I take this to mean that one object out of a group of 4 is more important than the rest. Once again, this could mean Otis. And finally, the last picture is a large one. It seems to be a Mobius strip attached to a sun emitting light. Alternatively, it does kind of look like the anti-hex machine that we see at the end of the game, just tilted sideways. But putting these pieces together, we arrive at my first theory. One of the 4 weights refers to Otis breaking the loop. He is one of the 4 playable characters, and the pictures look like this message has to do with activating the anti-hex machine. So how does Otis wait? Well, remember that there are 3 golden discs that Otis can collect. I touched on these artifacts in my last theory video. Once all 3 have been collected, the Eternal Sanctuary is unlocked, and Otis can listen to messages of ancient owls. Some of these messages expound on the idea of the loop and what exactly was going on behind the scenes with the hex machine and the anti-hex. But what does this have to do with Otis waiting? Well, I'm glad you asked. You see, the infamous 3rd golden disc is located in the floating tower, beyond a point of no return. Basically, Otis can collect all 3 discs, but he doesn't have a way to place them in their proper locations and actually enter the Eternal Sanctuary. Or does he? After you've beaten Solus and completed the game, if you load your save file back up, you start out right before the final battle with Solus, with one important difference. There's a glowing light. Interacting with this light gives you the option to return to the past, i.e., go back to before you traveled to the floating tower. This allows Otis to place all 3 discs and listen to the messages. In this case, Otis has waited to break the loop. He waited to fight Solus. Now, this is just one of my theories concerning the meaning behind the Vellie Cave mural. My next theory is slightly less credible in my opinion, because it doesn't really take into consideration the pictures that are present alongside the message. But when has that ever stopped a YouTube video game theorist? But yeah, so one of the 4 weights. What if this phrase implies that there's a group of 3 things in the current game, and that there's supposed to be 4, but it's just not in the game yet? Like, it's waiting for a future update or sequel, or something along those lines. Now all of a sudden the possibilities are even greater. Just think of how many groups of 3 there are in the game. 3 relics, 3 volumes of Nocte, 3 golden discs, 3 gunners that Otis carries around. Yeah, let's explore that for a second. Not counting Otis, since he's the main character, there are 3 party members that serve as gunners, Getty, Alphonse, and Twig. But what if there's a 4th member somewhere? Anne doesn't count since she's not permanent. In Buccaneery's shop, Otis can obtain hats for each party member if he's collected enough coins. Behind Buccaneery, there are even hooks to place the hats when they're not being worn. But you ever notice that there are 4 hooks on the wall, not 3? Seems a little suspicious to me. But hey, that's just a theory. I can't believe I just stooped to making a MatPat joke. Anyways, my intentions for this video are more to get the creative juices flowing rather than to propose solid theories. So I have a few suspicions of my own as to what the Vellie Cave mural refers to, but I really just wanted to see what you guys could come up with. Hopefully I presented some ideas that you haven't thought of before. I really do think it's important to use the pictures in conjunction with the message though. Why else would they be in the same location? But yeah, so what other groups of 4 or 3 can you all think of? Please leave comments down below. In the meantime, have a blessed day, and of course, stay tuned for my next Owlboy Theory video where I cover something minor but possibly important, at the very least intriguing. See you guys then.